We have a beautiful night in San Diego. The Mets here this evening will be bidding for a sweep of the 3-game series, and the Mets are trying to make it 6 consecutive wins. By winning 5 in a row, the Mets have driven to the top of the Eastern Division of the National League. The 3 days spent here in San Diego, the weather has just been sensational. The sky is clear throughout the day, the temperature up around 75 degrees. Tonight, as we approach game time, the skies are perfectly clear. A big, beautiful full moon and a very comfortable evening. Following the game tonight, the Mets will be going to Los Angeles, where they open a weekend series against the Dodgers tomorrow night. The starting pitchers in tonight's game. For the New York Mets, it will be right-hander Gary Gentry. And for the first time this year, the Mets have a left-hander starting against them. For San Diego, left-hander Freddie Norman. We'll have the starting lineups in just 1 minute.
Probably the most important financial and personal decision you will make in your lifetime is the one to buy a home. It represents one of, if not the largest financial commitment a family can make. Doesn't it make sense then to use the aid of a professional? Florence Italy Realtor is a professional. She is a member of the National Association of Real Estate Boards. Florence Italy and her sales staff can help you buy the most home for your money and the one satisfying your needs. Call Florence Italy Realtor today at 762-8500. 762-8500.
Life is a mystery when you don't see things as they are. Clear it up with regular examinations by a vision specialist. That's good advice from the American Optometric Association.
Remember last week when you said next week you'd spend more time with your children? It's next week. A thought from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Well, the big story in San Diego baseball today, the Padres have a new manager, Don Zimmer. Buzzy Bavasi, for the first time in 22 years in the big leagues, has fired a manager. Preston Gomez has been ousted. Don Zimmer has taken over. Zimmer and Yogi at home plate to exchange the batting order slips. And now for the lineups and the batting orders for tonight's game. Let's check Ralph Kiner.
Okay, Bob Murphy, and for the Mets, Bud Harrelson will lead off. He'll be playing shortstop. Batting second, the second baseman, Ted Martinez. Batting third in center field, Tommie Agee. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Rusty Staub. Batting fifth and playing left field, Cleon Jones. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Jim Fregosi. Batting seventh and playing first base, Jim Beauchamp. Batting eighth and catching, Jerry Grote, and the pitcher, Gary Gentry, batting ninth. For the Padres, it'll be Derrel Thomas leading off. He'll be at second base. Batting second, the shortstop, Enzo Hernandez. Batting third in center field, John Jeter. Batting fourth and playing first base, Nate Colbert. Batting fifth, the left fielder, Cleon Gaston. Batting sixth and playing right field, Ollie Brown. Batting seventh and playing third base, Dave Campbell. Batting eighth and catching, Bob Barton, and the pitcher, Freddie Norman, batting ninth. Don Zimmer making quite a few changes in his starting lineup from the old lineup of the former manager of the San Diego Padres, Preston Gomez. We pause now for station identification.
WIZR FM Johnstown.
Ralph Kiner, along with Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy from San Diego, on a beautiful evening for baseball, and the Mets enjoying 3 days here in San Diego of perfect weather. Temperature right around 75 to 80 degrees for the 3 days, and it has been like summertime. Tommie Agee said it's just a great pleasure to play on a dry field for a change. And as Bob Murphy pointed out, the San Diego Padres with a new manager, Don Zimmer, taking over, replacing Preston Gomez. If you recall, Don Zimmer was the first third baseman for the New York Mets back in 1962. Mets go into this ball game with a record of 6 wins and 2 losses. They lead by 1 game over Montreal in the Eastern Division. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh a game and a half back. St. Louis in 5th place, 4 games back, and the Cubs in 6th place, 5.5 behind. In the Western Division, Houston and the Dodgers all tied up with records of 9 wins and 2 losses. San Francisco under 500 at 5 and 6 in 3rd place. San Diego in 4th, 4 and 7. Cincinnati with a record of 3 wins and 6 losses, 5 games back. And Atlanta with a record of 4 wins and 8 losses in 6th place. Preston Gomez had been the San Diego's only manager, and he was named to the position in August of 1968. His record was 180 wins, 316 losses, and the club had lost 5 of its last 6 games for a 4 and 7 record. Prior to managing the Padres, Preston Gomez was the third base coach at Los Angeles, and he's a well-respected baseball man. Certainly want to wish him well as he sits out right now. He's had several offers to continue in baseball, and one of the nicest people you ever want to meet. Now the Padres take the field for the first time under the leadership of Don Zimmer, who was originally a Brooklyn Dodger baseball player. Now from San Diego, our national anthem. In the singing of the national anthem, singer Jerry Vale. Mets getting set for their final game here in San Diego. They have won the first 2 games of this series, and they have won 5 straight ball games. Now, one of your favorite Mets.
Hi, I'm Tug McGraw of the New York Mets. This broadcast comes to you to the courtesy of WHN Storer Radio, under radio rights granted by the New York Mets solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the description and account of this game without the expressed written consent of the New York Mets is prohibited.
Ralph Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson. And, of course, the big news here in San Diego, if you just joined us, Don Zimmer has taken over for the San Diego Padres as their new skipper. And I think Lindsey Nelson summed it up about the right way. Of course, San Diego located just about 25 miles from the Mexican border. Preston Gomez, a Spanish-speaking manager. And Don Zimmer, who has taken over, was last in Montreal, Canada. There's a lot of speculation on the team moving somewhere else from San Diego. And Lindsey said that must be some sort of an omen. So we'll wait and see. San Diego Padres, of course, have not done well here attendance-wise, and there have been rumors that they will move to several different locations, Washington, D.C., also New Orleans, and the possibility, too, of Toronto, Canada. Well, a new manager, and we'll see how it takes place. And here for the play-by-play, Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Ralph Cannon. Hello again, everybody. Switch-hitting shortstop, Bud Harrelson, batting right-handed against the lefty, Fred Norman, who has a record of no wins and 1 loss. Bob Barton is the catcher for the San Diego Padres. Dave Davidson, the umpire behind the plate, and before the first pitch is thrown, Barton calls time and goes to the mound to get checked out with his pitcher, Fred Norman. Bob Murphy points out that ties a major league record. Ted Martinez is on deck. Around the infield for the Padres, Nate Colbert at first, Derrel Thomas at second base. Enzo Hernandez at short and Dave Campbell around at third. Cito Gaston is in left field. John Jeter in center, and Ollie Brown is around in right. Now, here we go with the first pitch of the night. And it is in there for a called strike as Bud Harrelson moved around his throw to bunt. On the coaching lines for the New York Mets, Eddie Yost is at third base. Sheriff Robinson is on the lines at first. Joe Pignatano is the coach in the bullpen. Manager Yogi Berra in the dugout. That pitch is low for a ball, and pitching coach Rube Walker, who was called to North Carolina because of the death of his father, will rejoin the Mets in Los Angeles on Saturday. Now again, Bob Barton calls time and walks all the way out to the mound to get checked out again with Fred Norman.
Lindsay says 1 is a fastball, 2 is a curve, 3 is a screwball, and when I move my fingers in rotation, that means a changeup.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You just can't take that many conferences to get straight on what the pitches are with nobody on base. The San Diego Padres in their mission gold uniforms. Now here is the pitch. And it's in there for a called strike. 1-2 now to Bud Harrelson. Norman is 29 years of age from San Antonio, Texas. He has no lifetime record against the New York Mets. There's a swing and a high pop to the right side, and Derrel Thomas moves in toward the mound, and the second baseman makes the catch on the infield grass. One away, Ted Martinez coming up, making his first appearance of the 1972 season. Martinez, the second baseman, in place of Boswell, as manager Yogi Berra platoon tonight. At first and second bases, he has right-hand batter Jim Beauchamp playing first base in place of Cranepool. Right-hand batter Ted Martinez playing second base in place of Boswell. Norman with the pitch. Swung on and missed. It's strike one. Tommie Agee has moved up on deck. Now again, Fred Norman with the pitch. Swung on, and it's fouled off to the right side, out of play. 0-2. Norman formerly with the St. Louis Cardinals, formerly with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Swung on, and it's popped up foul to the right side, drifting back toward the stands. Barton gives it a run, but it's out of play. I expect that Don Zimmer has been just about as busy since noon today as a man could be. He learned just about noon that he was the new manager. He was actually on the golf course playing golf with Bob Skinner when he got a phone call that there would be a coach's meeting. So he came in, and the moment he walked in the room, he said he knew that there was something amiss. And Buzzy Bavasi was there to inform him that he was the new manager of the San Diego Padres. Here's a swing and a miss, and a strikeout credited to Norman, his first.
Lindsay, the worst part about that, according to Don Zimmer, was that he had won the first 9 of the Nassau and was $2 up, and when he was called off the golf course, he blew the $2.
Now Agee comes up, hitting .258, 1 homer, 3 runs batted in. He hit one a mile here last night. Right-hand batter against the left-hand pitcher. Has a swing and a high fly ball to center. Jeter moves over. He's underneath and waiting for the towering pop. In shallow center, he puts it away. Norman retires the Mets in the first inning, nothing across. In the middle of the first, the score is the Mets nothing and the Padres coming to bat. Now a word from Tiparillo.
Hi, this is Kathy Ogden, your Extension Home economist, with a message for consumers. Did you eat breakfast this morning? Well, congratulations if you did.
Thank you.
Many people, especially teenagers, fail to eat breakfast. The informal lifestyle in America today may promote casual, haphazard eating habits. Also, schedules for family members are frequently different, and without planning, it's easy to see how breakfast preparation can become difficult. If your evening meal includes bread or rice pudding or a custard, make an extra supply for a nourishing, speedy breakfast the next morning. Combine this with a glass of orange juice and you can make a nutritionally balanced breakfast. Teenagers may be intrigued by a sandwich breakfast, and a good supply of fixings may be on hand, like peanut butter, sliced cheese, or ham. Whatever you prefer to serve for breakfast or your family members find most acceptable, it's important to form the habit of eating breakfast.
For the New York Mets, Gary Gentry, who has a 1972 record of no wins and 1 loss. Last year against the Padres, 2, and he lost none. He had no decision in his last start. That was an 8-2 Mets win over the Cubs on Sunday. He went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, walked 5 and struck out 3. Derrel Thomas, switch hitting second baseman, batting left against Gentry, up there in the leadoff spot. And here is the pitch. That's high for a ball. That's one of the moves made by new manager Don Zimmer, moving Thomas up to the leadoff spot in the batting order and taking Enzo Hernandez, who had been batting 8th, and putting him up there 2nd. Now the pitch, and it's high for a ball. At third base, Fregosi's in on the edge of the grass. Met shortstop Bud Harrelson calls time, comes into the mound now. Gentry behind 2-0 on the leadoff man for the San Diego Padres. Zimmer also wasted no time in getting 2 men into the lineup who had not been playing, Cito Gaston and Ollie Brown. Zimmer said that he had talked to both of them during the course of today. Now Harrelson's back at short, and here's the 2-0 delivery. It's in there for a called strike, 2-1. Hernandez is on deck. Bob Skinner is the coach at third for the Padres. Here's a swing and a foul ball back and out of play, and Dave Garcia is on the lines at first, with manager Don Zimmer, who had been the third base coach for manager Preston Gomez, moving into the dugout. The count is even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Derrel Thomas. Gentry's pitch is high, and the count is full at 3-2. Gentry had control trouble last time out, and he's gone full on the first batter he faces here in San Diego tonight. Here's the payoff pitch. It's high and tight, and he walked him. So Thomas gets rid of the bat, goes down to first, and Enzo Hernandez is coming up. Hernandez is hitting only 161. He's 5 for 31. Don Zimmer was talking about him in the dugout before tonight's game, and he said that naturally Hernandez is down on himself right now because of that 161 batting average. And so he thought it'd be a good idea to put him up there in the second slot in the batting order because he thinks he can manipulate the bat, take the ball to the right side in any case. Jim Beauchamp at first base holds against the runner as Gentry sets up now, checks over the left shoulder. Thomas takes the lead, and here's the pitch. Breaks in there for a called strike. John Jeter in center field has moved up on deck. Bob Skinner last year was the third base coach for the San Diego Padres, but when Don Zimmer signed on this year, he took over there as the sign man, and Skinner, who is a former major league manager himself, he managed the Phillies, moved into the dugout. Runner goes, and the pitch is high. Grote's throwing. He is out at second base by a goodly margin. Harrelson was covering. So Daryl Thomas is thrown out at second base. The count to Hernandez at the plate is 1 ball and 1 strike. Grote has thrown 5 out of 8 out attempting to steal this year. Zimmer was talking about Grote and his arm in the dugout. He was saying that you can't expect to steal on Grote unless you get a very good lead. Here's a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. No score. Padres are batting in the bottom of the first inning. Gentry's pitch hit on the ground to first base. Beauchamp has it, and he goes unassisted to first for the put out, 2 away. Now John Jeter, he's hitting .375. He has 1 home run and 3 runs batted in. Don Zimmer and Buzzy Bavese have been acquainted with each other for many, many years during their tenure in professional baseball. So when Bavese named Zimmer as the manager here today, here's a pitch. Swung on and fouled back. It was done characteristically, I think. Bavese said to Zimmer, "You're the new manager of the ball club. I don't think you can do it, but we'll try it anyway." Moving out on deck now for the Padres is Nate Colbert. Here's a swing and a miss. 0-2. Colbert received a trophy before the start of tonight's ball game as the Padre of the Year for last season. It's the second time he's won it. 0-2 delivery. In there for a call, strike 3. First strikeout of the night for Gentry. Padres are retired. Nothing across. And at the end of an inning, the score is Padres nothing and the Mets nothing.
A baseball pitcher is a versatile man. He has to be. When there's a sudden change in the way the game is going, he has to be ready to switch strategy. The ability to respond fast to new conditions is what makes a real pitcher.
You should look for this same kind of versatility when you buy insurance. You want an insurance company with the ability to make changes when they're called for. So look for a pro, a professional independent agent, an independent agent like Fields and Baxter Insurance Agency, 14 North Market Street in Johnstown, who bring you New York Mets baseball. They represent several fine insurance companies, so they're not locked into any one line of policies. They can recommend a new strategy when a change is called for. When you need insurance for your car, your home, your business, see a professional. You see a real pro. See Fields and Baxter Agency at 14 North Market Street in Johnstown. They'll give you professional insurance service. Fields and Baxter in Johnstown.
Cincinnati Reds defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight by a score of 5-4 in Pittsburgh. Clay Carroll got the win. Dave Justy took the loss in relief for the Pirates. Benny Stinnett had a home run, and so did Dave Concepcion. Montreal is up at Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium with Ernie McAnally going against Al Downey. The Dodgers have won 8 of their last 9. The Montreal Expos have now lost 3 in a row. Philadelphia Phillies defeated the San Francisco Giants by a score of 7-6. Twitchell was the winner and Bryant the loser. Right now, Rusty Staub is up with a batting average of .290. Left-hand batter facing left-hand pitcher Fred Norman. There's a swing and a drive deep to right field. Going back is Ollie Brown. He is watching as this one sails on up and goes for a home run for Rusty Staub. His first home run as a New York Met. He hit it off a left-hander. That wall is 17 feet high, 330 feet down to the foul pole in the corner. He lofted it on up and over. So it is the New York Mets 1 and the San Diego Padres nothing on a second-inning home run by Rusty Staub.
Number 21, Cleon Jones, left field.
That is the first run batted in for Staub as a New York Met. Over the first 8 games, he had runners in scoring position only 3 times. Cleon Jones back in the batting order tonight is at the plate now, right-hand batter. And it's in there for a called strike. Cleon is hitting .360, 1 home run and 6 runs batted in. He set out last night's game because night before last, first time up, he was hit by a pitch ball and he had a bruise in the rib cage, so rested last night, waiting to start against a left-hander. Here's a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Jim Fregosi is up there on deck. Norman takes a sign from Bob Barton. Goes into the motion, and here is the pitch. It's swung on, fouled off to the right side. Out of play, and the count holds at 2 strikes to Cleon Jones. At the conclusion of tonight's game, the New York Mets will bus their way up to Los Angeles. Tomorrow we'll be on the air at 10:55 p.m. New York time with the first game of the set between the New York Mets and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Here is the 0-2 pitch. It is swung on and missed. Gets out of the glove of Barton. He picks it up, tags Jones. He is a strikeout victim. That's 2 for Norman. Jim Fregosi coming up. Hit a long home run here last night. Fregosi is hitting .241. He has 2 homers and 6 runs batted in. By the way, for the Phillies, Don Money had 2 home runs tonight. Kingman had 1 for the Giants. Luzinski had 1 for the Phils as well. Here is a pitch that's high for a ball. Jim Beauchamp has moved up there on deck. No game scheduled this afternoon or tonight in the American League. 1-0 delivery, and it's low for a ball. Fred Norman goes behind to Fregosi, 2-0. Norman taking just a moment. Now extends the pitching arm as he looks in for his sign. The 2-0 delivery. Low. So he goes behind now. 3-0 to Fregosi. Native California. He's looking down to sign man Eddie Yost to see if he's turned loose on a 3-0. Here's the pitch. Low. He walked him. That is the first walk issued by Norman. It comes with 1 man out here in the top of the second inning. Brings up Jim Beauchamp. Beauchamp, as a New York Met, has been up only 1 time. But he delivered a base hit that won a ball game. That 1 time up against the Cubs on Sunday in New York. Beauchamp came to the New York Mets from the St. Louis Cardinals in the deal that sent Art Shamsky from New York to St. Louis. Shamsky was cut loose and has since signed on with the Chicago Cubs. Low for a ball. 1-0. During the absence of manager Leo DeRocher because of illness, Pete Reeser has managed the Cubs in 8 games. They've lost all of them. Norman again checks, and here's the pitch. It's low for a ball. 2-0 now to Jim Beauchamp, with Jerry Grote waiting on deck. At first base, Nate Colbert's holding against the runner. Norman's pitch, and away. On the scoreboard, they have the average posted as 999. He's been up one time, had a base hit, which is 1,000, of course, but that board will not accommodate 4 digits, and so it's listed at 999. I expect they won't have an awful lot of 1,000 batters in any case. Here's a pitch. Cut to the inside corner of the plate for a called strike. It's 3-1 now to Beauchamp.
That means the computer is not perfect either, huh?
Here's a 3-1 delivery. Swung on, it's hit in the air to left center field. Jeter is moving over, and Jeter gets there to make the play. Fregosi retreats to first base. 2 men out, and Jerry Grote, the Met catcher, is coming up. Grote is hitting 167. He has 2 runs batted in.
You know, Lindsay, talking about Pete Reeser and his managerial conquest or non-conquest, he lost one the real hard way yesterday. He walked the winning run on base on purpose, and then a double followed, and he lost the ball game.
He did that with 2 men out and nobody on. He walked Lee May. And then Watson promptly doubled May home from first base for the winning run. That's when you know you're going bad. That's a good move only if it works. That pitch is low for a ball. The Mets are leading here by a score of 1-0 on Rusty Staub's leadoff home run, and this the top half of the second inning. Norman checks Fregosi at first. Here's the pitch to Grote, and it's high and away for a ball. 2-0. Pitcher Gary Gentry has moved up on deck. Now the 2-0 delivery to Grote. Little low. Norman's gone behind. 3-0. He's walked 1, struck out 2. New York Mets have won 5 games in a row. The San Diego Padres have lost 5 of their last 6. The Mets overall have won 6 and lost 2. The Padres have won 4 and lost 7. 3-0 delivery. And it's in there for a called strike. 3-1 now to Grote. The number 8 batter and manager Yogi Berra's New York Mets batting order. Colbert still holding against runner Jim Fregosi at first base. 3-1 offering, but first a try over to first, not in time. At the plate, Grote has stepped out. Three-1 delivery. Breaks in there for a call, strike 2. It'll be an automatic start now for Fregosi at first base. A full count to Grote at the plate with 2 men out. Runner goes. Pitch is fouled off and out of play. Count holds full at 3-2. At Tulsa, Fred Norman had a no-hitter to his credit during his tenure there. Colbert's moved back now, step or 2 behind the runner. He knows he's going. Goes Fregosi, and the pitch is swung on, popped up foul back at first. Colbert moving over, but this one just on into the stands and out of play. Count continues full at 3-2. In the Los Angeles series, it'll be John Matlack going against Bill Singer, Jerry Koosman going against Tommy John, and Buzz Capra going against Don Sutton. Fregosi's running. 3-2 pitch to Grote. Swung on it in the air to center field. Sending Cito way on back. He's racing on back, and he can't get this one. It's over his head, rolling all the way to the wall. Fregosi around third is coming home. He scores. Grote hits the dirt at third with a triple and a run batted in. And the New York Mets are leading by a score of 2-0. Grote's sitting on the bag. The ball must have hit him on the head or somewhere. And here comes the trainer out. Here comes Yogi Berra out. Grote's still sitting on the bag. The throw in from the outfield must have hit him.
I believe Lindsay hit him either on the back of the head, and he has a batting helmet on, or on the neck, just below the batting helmet. He's taking the helmet off now, and Eddie Yost is rubbing the base of his head. He appears to be all right, just a little stunned there.
Grote now getting up on one knee. Apparently hit him just there at the back of the neck. Trainer Tom McKenna out. Manager Yogi Berra out. It is a triple and a run batted in for Grote. Straight away center field, and Jeter, who can move back in a hurry, flung up the glove, but it was beyond his outstretched glove and rolled all the way to the wall where the sign says 420 feet.
That is his first triple in 2 years and his 10th in his major league career, and that's not very many for a cross-country runner.
The Mets are leading by a score of 2-0. Gary Gentry's up now with 2 men out. Now the pitch to the right-hand batter, and it breaks in there for a called strike. Gentry up for his first time in this ball game. Been up twice this year officially without a hit. Grote leads down the line. Here is the pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Norman gets his third strikeout. Retires the side, but the New York Mets picked up 2 runs on 2 hits. There was a walk, no errors, and 1 man left. In the middle of the second inning, the score is the Mets 2 and the Padres nothing.
New York Mets baseball brought to you by Saris's Restaurant. For the finest meals with the extra added home-cooked touch, it's Saris's Restaurant on Main Street in Fonda. Saris's cooking will melt in your mouth. Willie features the finest foods at moderate prices. And say, you truck drivers, enjoy a bit of home cooking at Saris's today. Just a jump from the New York State Thruway. So remember, for luscious home-cooked meals to keep you satisfied with good eating at moderate prices, stop at Saris's Restaurant on Main Street in Fonda, New York.
This is McDonald Carey. 40,000 people will be hurt on the job today, and 55 will be killed. It's a terrible waste, but it can be prevented. There's a new national job safety and health law to help. But the law needs your backing. If you're an employee, stay alert on the job and think safety full time. If you're an employer, follow the job safety standards set by the U.S. Labor Department. Remember, job safety is everyone's job.
The phone book for the House.
Nate Colbert coming up. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
WIZR FM Johnstown.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Canner and Bob Murphy at San Diego Stadium, San Diego, California. Nate Colbert, right-hand power hitter, up to face Gary Gentry. Into the motion. Pitch is fouled off and out of play. Colbert has hit the only home run that has been hit off Met pitching in the first 8 games of this season. Overall, Colbert is batting .195. He's had 3 homers and 5 runs batted in. Gary Gentry with the pitch to the right-hand batter. Swung on and fouled off out of play. 2 strikes now. Cito Gaston is on deck. Jerry Grote sends out the sign. Now the pitch. Inside, low, so it's 1-2. Martinez at second, moved way over near the bag. Harrelson moved into the hole at short. Slammed to pull. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on, and he ripped it down the left field line. A fair ball. Cleon Jones up with it. And on the way to second is Colbert, and he goes in standing with a double. It is the first hit for the Padres tonight off Gary Gentry. A double down the left field line. And it brings up Cito Gaston. Gaston's hitting .250, has 2 runs batted in. Manager Don Zimmer wasted no time after taking over the reins and getting Ollie Brown and Cito Gaston back into the batting order. Here's a swing and a ground ball foul up the third base line, and Bob Skinner takes it, flips it over to Fregosi, who returns it to Gentry out on the mound. As the most interviewed man in Southern California, Don Zimmer was regaling the writers in the dugout with many of the tales of his days with the Dodgers and as a player with the Washington Senators under manager Gil Hodges. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. He was saying that the first time he went out to catch for the Washington Senators, it was the tag end of the season in Boston. And he put on the mask and shin guards and went out and was warming up the pitch, and everybody began to laugh. And Hayward Sullivan called time and pointed out to him that he didn't have the chest protector. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Way outside low. Grote had to move way out to glove that one. 1-2, the count now to Gaston. Nobody out, a runner at second.
There have been a few catchers, Lindsay, that have gone out there to catch without the mask on.
Yes. Yes, there have. This is a 1-2 pitch. Outside. 2-2. Zimmer said that he went down to the Winter League to learn how to catch a little better, and that they played the first game at Huggins Stengel Field, and there was one spectator there, his wife. That time he made his home in St. Petersburg. 2-2 delivery. Swung on. Foul back and out of play. Count holds at 2-2. Zimmer was saying that, as everybody knows, twice during his career he was hit by pitch balls, badly injured. Once in the head and once almost in the eye. Out on the cheekbone. This will be a 2-2 pitch. Low for a ball. 3-2. He said he never could admit it as long as he was still playing, but that his vision was impaired permanently by the second beating, Hal Jeffcoat, in Cincinnati. That he had a black spot that he could see at all times. This will be a payoff pitch. Swung on, foul back. But every time he'd start to swing, you could see the black spot. He was hitting 800 against the black spot and 220 against the white ball. Ollie Brown is on deck for the San Diego Padres. Again, the payoff pitch. It's high, ball 4. So Gentry now, as this is his second walk of the night, it puts the tying runs on base with nobody out. And downtown, Ollie Brown is coming up. Brown's hitting 167. He's had 4 hits and 24 times at bat. With Brown at the plate, Dave Campbell's on deck. Racing pitch. He's the left and a foul ball. He really got around on it. Sent it down to the left field corner up into the seats. But a long foul ball, and strike one to Ollie Brown. The expansion draft that created the Padres, Ollie Brown was their #1 draft choice. Gentry steps off. Nate Colbert, the runner at second. Cito Gaston, the runner at first. We're in the bottom of the second inning in San Diego, California. That pitch is low, and it gets away from Grote. He comes on back, and runners move up. It's a wild pitch. A wild charged against Gary Gentry. And the wild pitch allows runners to move up a big base. Colbert to third, Gaston to second. Now the tying runners in scoring positions at second base with nobody out. Now to Ollie Brown is 1-1. So Gentry's work is cut out here as he reads the sign from Jerry Grote. Takes a look at Nate Colbert, the runner at third. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled out right off the end of the bat, back off the screen. 1-2 to Ollie Brown. Gentry badly in need of a strikeout in this particular position if he can get it. Dave Campbell, the number 7 man in the order, is on deck. This is a 1-2 pitch now, and it's on the way. Just missed, and it's 2-2. Runners lead at second and third. Gary Gentry's 2-2 delivery. Swung on, foul back into the seats and out of play, and the count continues at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield defense shaded slightly toward right on the right-hand batter. Now the pitch. Swung on again, foul back over the screen and into the seats. Not continuing 2-2 to Ollie Brown. Brown back in and waiting now, swinging the bat loosely. Gentry reads Grote's signs. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on it on the ground, up the middle. Harrelson has it. He goes to first in time. 1 run scores. The tying run moves to third base. They'll make it a run batted in for Ollie Brown as he went out short to first. Colbert scoring from third. Gaston moving over to third. With 1 away, Dave Campbell comes up. It's the Mets 2 and the Padres 1. Campbell is the third baseman with an average of 172. He has 1 run batted in. Let's move the infield up now to be in a position to try to choke off a possible run at the plate. Pitch misses high and away, and it's ball 1 to Dave Campbell. Catcher Bob Barton is now on deck. Campbell is a right-hand batter. 1-0 delivery. Swung on it, underground foul, back of third and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. One away. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-2 now to Dave Campbell. Now Gentry offers 1-2. A little high, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gentry windmills the pitching arm for a moment. Takes a look around. Beauchamp at first, Martinez at second, Harrelson at short, Fregosi at third. Defensively for the Mets around the infield. Pitch misses way outside. So Gentry has gone full at 3-2 now to Dave Campbell. The Mets 2, the Padres 1. A runner at third with 1 man out. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, hit deep to left center field. Racing on back is Jones. Can't get it. 1 hop to the wall. Gaston scores the tying run. Dave Campbell moves to second, standing with a double. The score is tied. The Padres 2, and the Mets 2. Dave Campbell belted that ball a long way out into left center beyond a sprinting Cleon Jones. It hit in the warning track, took one out to the wall underneath the 370-foot sign. Jerry Grote, the Met catcher, has called time and has gone to the mound for a word with Gentry. Bob Barton, the number 8 man in the order, the catcher, is coming up. He's hitting 179. He's had 3 runs batted in this year. Still only 1 man out for the San Diego Padres, who have come on to tie the score here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Off the stretch. The pitch breaks in for a call strike. Pitcher Fred Norman is on deck. Gentry takes a look at Dave Campbell taking the lead at second. Pitch is swung on and fouled off on the ground, dribbling off over toward the Met dugout. 2 strikes now to Bob Barton. The Mets occupy the dugout along the 3rd base line. Their pitchers are in the bullpen down in the right field corner. San Diego, of course, just the opposite. Padres have the dugout along the 1st base line, and they have the bullpen in the left field corner. It's so you can sit in the dugout and look down to the bullpen. Here's an 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, struck him out. He was trying to check it. Has a word to say to plate umpire Dave Davidson as he comes around on the way back to the dugout. So with 2 men out, and the score tied 2-2. 3 times this year, and he's had 1 hit, so he's batting .333. That was the 2nd strikeout for Gary Gentry. Norman is a left-hand batter. Lefty all the way. Off the stretch, Gary Gentry delivers the pitch, and it's in there for a call strike to Fred Norman. Strike 1 delivery. Curveball swung on and missed. It's strike 2. A wild swing at the plate by Fred Norman, who now takes a walk around. Looks at his right hand as though he might have chipped a nail. Calls time. Still looking at the right hand. Goes back over toward the dugout now. Keep in mind he's a left-hand pitcher. So Fred Norman has disappeared from our view into the dugout of the San Diego Padres. Followed over there by plate umpire Dave Davidson. Gentry, meanwhile, is standing on the mound. Not throwing, just waiting, and here comes Norman back out now. Count is 0-2. All right, Gentry again looks for the sign at second base. Dave Campbell takes his lead. The score is tied 2-2. Here's a pitch swung on, hit in the air to center field, and Tommie Agee glides over, pounds the glove, and Agee makes the catch to retire the side. But the Padres got 2 runs on 2 hits, a walk, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of 2 innings of play, the score is...
Way back when the San Diego Padres were a minor league ball club right here in San Diego, they had a manager by the name of Bob Elliott, who at one time was the most valuable player in the National League. He came from San Diego and had played extremely well for the Padres in 1955 when they won the playoffs. A little bit later on, I was the general manager here, and I had to fire Bob Elliott, and I really got going over from a fellow named Jack Murphy, who was the sports editor of the San Diego Union. Right here is his brother, Bob Murphy.
You've been after me ever since, haven't you? Boy, you die hard. Buddy Harrelson up against Freddie Norman in the top of the 3rd. The game is tied 2-2. Buddy hitting right-handed, 0 for 1, retired on an infield pop fly in the 1st inning. And the little left-hander, Fred Norman, delivers. Ground ball hit down to 3rd. An easy play for Dave Campbell. He straightens up, throws across to Nate Colbert, 1 out. 1 out and nobody on. The hitter is Ted Martinez. Teddy playing his first ball game. Yogi going to a platoon system tonight against the left-hander. Fred Norman is the first left-hander to start against New York this season. The Mets will hit against another left-hander in Los Angeles this weekend, Tommie John. And a swing at a curve, foul tip, strike one. Bill Singer, Tommie John, and Don Sutton. Walter Alston's pitchers for the series at Dodger Stadium this weekend. Martinez waiting. And a fly ball hit in the air to center. Moving back slowly, John Jeter. He turns, makes the catch. 2 outs and nobody on. It'll bring up Tommie Agee. Tommie is 0 for 1. He's skied to center. He hit a tape measure home run here last night. Home runs by Jim Fregosi and Tommie Agee providing Tom Seaver with more runs than he needed as the Mets won it 5-1. The Mets and Padres will play at Shea Stadium Friday night, May the 5th. That will be the first night game of the season at Shea. Around comes the left arm of Freddie Norman and a towering infield pop-up. The second baseman, Derrel Thomas, calling for it, and he has it. Very impressive inning for the left-hander, Fred Norman. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. At the end of 2.5 innings, the New York Mets 2, the San Diego Padres 2.
Now that snow time is finally over, chances are you can see where a lot of work is needed on your lawn and garden. And Agway has all the items you'll need to get things back into shape. Choose from a full assortment of rakes, including bow, steel, bamboo, and wood, for all of those twigs, dead leaves, and other debris. Then empty the piles into Agway's poly trash bags to smooth the lumps and bumps. Agway has that lawn roller to suit your needs. Then put some nourishment into your lawn with Turf Food Special at $3.25 for 50 pounds. Covers 5,000 square feet. Use Agway's Model B spreader to spread seed, chemicals, fertilizer, as well as other materials. While you're at Agway, look at all the other lawn and garden items too, including Agway's rotary tillers. And don't forget ground lime to correct soil acidity. Visit Agway today on the Johnstown Arterial. Remember, Agway has the famous Hot Point appliances and quality service.
Of the third inning with the game tied 2-2. Switch hitter Derrel Thomas, the leadoff batter, faces Gary Gentry. Derrel Thomas drew a walk in the first inning, but he was out trying to steal on a strong throw by Jerry Grote. He has an idea about bunting. Ralph, almost every time at bat, he'll bluff that bunt on the first pitch.
He has in this series, and he hasn't bunted once.
Now the windup by Gentry. Here comes the pitch. It is under the knees, 2 balls and no strikes. Gary fighting his control so far this evening. He walked Thomas in the first inning, and he walked Gaston, a walk that hurt him, in the second inning. The 2-0 delivery. He is hit in the air foul behind third, beyond the reach of Jim Fregosi, no play. The Padres with a new manager in Don Zimmer. Don Zimmer first came up to the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1954. He had Gil Hodges and Rube Walker for teammates. He was together with Gil 4 years in Brooklyn and 2 more in Los Angeles. Foul back toward the screen, no play. Gil has had quite an influence on Don Zimmer's life. It was after Zimmer was with the Mets the following year, after he had been traded to Cincinnati. The following year, the Dodgers gave him a brief trial. Then after Hodges became manager at Washington, he gave Don Zimmer a job. Gary Gentry sighting in on his target, the 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a good fastball. It was Gil and Rube Walker's idea that if Zimmer would add catching to his repertoire of positions that he could play, he could hang around the major leagues for 2 or 3 more years. And that's exactly the way it worked out for Don Zimmer. I remember, Ralph, in 1969, the Mets did, and Gil Hodges did the same thing with Bobby File.
That's right. Bobby hung on there with the Philadelphia Phillies.
Now the pitch on the way to Enzo Hernandez. A strike called in the outside corner. Next pitch thrown off the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Zimmer was telling a classic story in the dugout about he was with Washington and Gil had sent him to spring training to instructional league to learn to catch. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Line to the air to center. Agee in front of it waiting. He has it 2 down. Hard hit line drive. So Zimmer had gone to the instructional league to learn to catch. Then the following season opened. And Zimmer was not being used behind the plate. And one Saturday night, Gill came down with a very bad virus, bad flu. There's a doubleheader on Sunday, so Gill called Rube and said, Rube, run the ball club today. And Zimmer says to Rube, how about letting me play? John Jeter is the batter, right-hand hitter. Swing and a miss, strike 1. So Rube called Gill, and Gill said, go ahead, Rube, write out your own lineup. Well, Zimmer caught the first game, and Washington won. They won a doubleheader that day, and Gill came up with a classic line. He said, that is about as disloyal as you can be, because Washington had been losing every day. Now a swing and a miss by John Jeter. If that be the case, I guess Pete Reeser's about as loyal as you can be right now, Ralph.
He's 0 for 8.
Gary Gentry with a 2-strike count on John Jeter. 2 outs, nobody on. 3rd inning, and the game tied 2-2. Good pitch by Gentry on the outside corner. Strike 3 call. For Gary Gentry, his 4th strikeout. And there's a good inning for Gary. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. At the end of 3, the New York Mets 2, the San Diego Padres 2.
Absolutely. Oh, well, thank you. Really?
Good old Harry. What a host. When Harry throws a party, nobody goes thirsty. Here, let me freshen up that drink. Good old Harry is such a great host. How come Bill and Jean had such a terrible fight?
I want to go home right now.
Why not? It's a great party.
I don't care.
Such a drink.
No, I want to go home right now. Now
How come Bob had a little trouble driving home? And how come everybody who felt so good last night feels so bad this morning? Oh. Maybe good old Harry is not such a great host after all. Maybe good old Harry is a pusher, a neighborhood pusher. Harry pushes alcohol. So if you serve alcohol, please, don't be a pusher. And if you're a guest, don't let good old Harry or anyone else push you into drinking more than you want.
A public service message from this station and the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism.
Fourth inning, Rusty Staub will be leading off. Rusty homered off Fred Norman, leading off the second to put the Mets into a 1-0 lead.
Number 4.
Interesting thing about Don Zimmer and his catching, Gil Hodges always felt that had Zimmer been made into a catcher early in his career, that he would have been truly an outstanding catcher. As far back as 1952, when Zimmer was the all-star shortstop of the American Association, Bertie Tebbett said to him, if you were on my ball club, you'd be the catcher. And a breaking ball inside and low to Rusty Staub. Ball 1.
Zimmer's built quite a bit like Bruce Edwards, who was quite a catcher for the Dodgers.
He certainly is. You know, he's got to be a man of great courage, Ralph, to go through 2 very severe beatings the way he did and then go behind the plate to catch. Low and outside ball, too. Because, you know, just one backlash could put you in real trouble that way. 2 balls and no strikes. Rusty Staub hit his first New York Met home run in the 2nd inning. And a high fly ball hit out behind second into shallow center. Derrel Thomas, the second baseman, called off by Jeter, the center fielder, who makes the catch. 1 away in the 4th inning. It will bring up Cleon Jones. Cleon was fanned by Fred Norman in the 2nd inning.
Number 21, Cleon Jones, left field.
Fred Norman has been with the Kansas City Royals, St. Louis Cardinals, Chicago Cubs, Los Angeles Dodgers, and San Diego. He and Bill Connors of the New York Mets were teammates with the Chicago Cubs. And a fastball over the outside corner, call strike 1. Jim Fregosi on deck, and then Jim Beauchamp. The pitch by Freddie Norman. Low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Freddie Norman pitched a very good ball game his first start. He lost to the Dodgers 1-0. Jim Lefebvre beat him with a home run. The 1-1 pitch. Low and outside, the screwball missing. He learned that screwball from one of the masters. He picked it up from Warren Spahn. Bonnie, a Cinch Hall of Famer in the future. At one time was a pitching coach for the New York Mets. He's now the pitching coach at Cleveland. And a breaking ball that is low. Ball 3-1. San Diego comes to New York for a 3-game series to be followed by the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Expos on the next homestand. 3-1 hit high in the air to right field. For Ollie Brown, the right fielder, he walks to be under this one. He has plenty of time. And he has it 2 down. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
WIZR FM Johnstown.
Bob Murphy with Ralph Kiner and Lindsey Nelson. Top of the 4th inning at San Diego Stadium with the game tied 2-2. And the pitch to Fregosi is in, strike 1 call. Jim drew a walk and later scored on a long triple by Jerry Grote in the 2nd inning. Each team has 2 runs on 2 hits. And it's dropped right in there for a call strike to Jim Fregosi. He hit a long 3-run homer last night, his 2nd home run of the year. He hit his first one at Shea to the opposite field. 29-year-old Freddie Norman into his windup. And the pitch on the way, line to left center field, a base hit. Taken on 1 hop by Jeter, the center fielder, and Fregosi is on with a solid single. This will bring up Jim Beauchamp starting his first ball game. Jim flied to Jeter, who caught the ball in fairly deep left center.
Jim Beauchamp, first base.
Jim Beauchamp from Grove, Oklahoma. That's good fishing country near Grand Lake. And not too far from Spavanon.
How far from Broken Bow?
Pretty good distance. Now the pitch on the way by Freddie Norman. Breaking ball out of the strike zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Interestingly enough, during the baseball players' strike, when Jim Beauchamp went home to Oklahoma, the 3 or 4 days that he was there, the temperature was almost 100 degrees. They had quite a heat wave at that time. Swing and a miss and a screwball. 1 ball, 1 strike. So he went over to his old high school and worked out. Jerry Grote in the on-deck circle. 2 outs and 1 on. Jim Fregosi on first base. Beauchamp, right-hand batter with good power, and he fouls it into the plate and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Prior to tonight's game, Jim had 1 time at bat in a Mets uniform, and that 1 time at bat, he won a ball game. Nate Colbert holding against the runner at first. Now the pitch by Fred Norman, fastball that is high, 2-2. Padres are counting heavily on Freddie Norman. They traded away their top left-hander when they traded Dave Roberts off to Houston. The 2-2 pitch. And it's hit in the air to right field. Should be an easy play for Ollie Brown. He drifts back slowly, and he makes the catch. In the 4th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 3.5 innings, the New York Mets 2 and the San Diego Padres 2. For the New York Mets, they'll be going to Dodger Stadium following the game tonight. And they will play the Dodgers Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. They play the Giants in San Francisco Monday afternoon, Tuesday night, and Wednesday afternoon. And after next Wednesday's game, they'll be flying back to New York, where they open their longest homestand of the year at Shea against San Diego on Friday night, May the 5th. After the weekend set with the Padres, 3 night games with the Dodgers, a weekend series with Willie Mays and the Giants, and a 4-day series with Montreal. So there's a lot of exciting baseball coming up at Shea, and we hope that you're taking advantage of one of the attractive plans available to you. Whichever may be best for you, there are still a number of ticket plans available to suit the needs of both business firms and individual fans. You know, there's no better way to entertain your friends or clients than a day or an evening at a Met game at Shea Stadium. If you'd like further information, we suggest you contact the ticket manager. He'll be happy to arrange for an appointment. The number to call is area code 212-672-3000.
Leading off the Padres, number 17,
At Dodgers Stadium, the Expos nothing, the Dodgers nothing at the end of 2. Ernie McAnally pitching against 20-game winner Al Downing. The Dodgers have won 8 of their last 9. The Astros and the Dodgers tied in the West. They've won 9 of 11. Nate Colbert up, and he fouls it back over the screen. Strike 1. In this series, Nate Colbert has 3 hits and 8 times at bat. The weather has been unusually hot in Los Angeles for this time of the year. We were reading in the Los Angeles papers today, it may be up around 88 tomorrow. Now the pitch by Gary Gentry. Ground ball hit toward the hole, cut off by Jim Fregosi. His throw is in time to Jim Beauchamp, and Nate Colbert is out. 1 out, bases clear. Clarence Gaston will be coming up to hit. Clarence Gaston and Ollie Brown could return to the form of 2 years ago. San Diego would be a hard ball club to handle. 2 years ago, they both had a very fine season. Last year, they were both off. 2 years ago, Gaston hit over 300. And a half swing, he held up in time. Low and away, ball 1. Gary Gentry, since giving up 2 runs in the second inning, has now settled down to retire 6 in a row. And a foul ball off the end of the bat going down the right field line and over toward the seats. The new scheme of things with San Diego's field leadership, Whitey Wiedelman has been activated as a coach. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. You can only have 4 certified coaches, so Whitey actually was not certified as a coach as far as the pension plan is concerned, but now will be. Pitching 1-2. Ground ball hammered to second base. Martinez digs it out. Throws across to Beauchamp, 2 down. 2 outs and nobody on. Downtown, Ollie Brown will be hitting. He hit one downtown, but it was foul in the second inning. After the long foul ball, he grounded out to shortstop. Phillies had a day game up in San Francisco. They won it with a lot of home run hitting, 7-6. And some of the Phillies are already here at the ballpark in San Diego. Now a breaking ball, a strike on the outside corner. The Phillies, and the Mets have not played the Phillies since spring training, have been getting surprising hitting so far this year. They're scoring a lot of runs. Low and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. In their game today, Don Money hit 2 home runs. Darren Johnson hit a 3-run homer, and Greg Luzinski hit a home run. Swing and a miss and a fastball. And Gentry seems to be getting better now as the game goes along. Gary throwing hard at that last pitch. Gary has never been beaten by San Diego. Lifetime record of 4-0. The 1-2 pitch, ground ball hit to shortstop. Buddy Harrelson gobbles it up, and across to Beauchamp. The side is out, 1-2-3. That's 8 in a row now for Gary Gentry. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. At the end of 4 at San Diego Stadium, the New York Mets 2, the San Diego Padres 2.
All's quiet in Sparkle City, Captain Cleanup.
Not quite, Kid Coolidge. Look there.
Leaping lizards! It's Louie the Litterer and his sewer rat gang.
Let's see what they're up to.
Okay, we're taking over the neighborhood, see? You, Big Daddy Dirt Pile, drop candy and gum wrappers. And you, Sammy the Slop, throw empty cans around. And you, Filthy Frank, foul up the water in the air.
Stop! You'll not mess up this town.
No!
That's it, boys. We're through. That's where you belong, in the waste can.
We put them in their place, right?
Right. Kids, you too can be a pollution fighter. Never throw trash in the street. Remember, you have to set an example for your parents. Make all America Sparkle City. Put litter in its place.
This message has been brought to you as a public service by Keep America Beautiful, Incorporated.
In the Dodgers series that opens tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium, John Matlack, will be starting.
Jerry Grote, catcher.
With Jerry Koosman pitching Saturday night and Buzz Capra on Sunday afternoon. That means Tom Seaver will open the Giants series at Candlestick Park on Monday afternoon. Which means he would probably pitch the following Saturday at Shea Stadium against San Diego. Seaver is now 10-0 lifetime against the Padres. And a curve full foul by Jerry Grote, strike one. Jerry hit a long triple over the head of John Jeter to drive home Jim Fregosi in the second inning. Bob Barton, the Padre receiver, setting up the target for the left-hander Fred Norman. The pitch by Freddie Norman, hammered foul. He hit it hard down the third base line. Leroy Lee and Fred Norman came to San Diego last year in a deal between the Padres and the Cardinals. Al Santorini went to St. Louis. Fred Norman with a two-strike advantage. And a pop foul coming back over the screen and dropping into the crowd. Nobody on, nobody out. This is the top of the fifth inning, and the game is tied 2-2. Both teams scored twice in the second inning. And a let-up hit on the ground to shortstop. Enzo Hernandez strides and throws. Low throw. Picked out, however, by Nate Colbert in time for the out. Backhanded pickup by big Nate Colbert. One man away, nobody on. Gary Gentry bats for the second time. Gary was struck out. Freddie Norman's third strikeout in the second inning. The Mets have, by far and away, their fastest start in their 11-year baseball history. Now the pitch on the way. Ground ball right back to the mound. Taken by Norman. And he throws on to Colbert, 2 down. So one pitch and Gentry has been retired. 2 outs and nobody on. Top of the batting order for Bud Harrelson. Buddy hitting .235 is 0 for 2 tonight. A pop to second, and he grounded out to third.
Bud Harrelson, shortstop.
Ted Martinez batting second in the order. And a ground ball hit right down to third. A big hop for Dave Campbell. He wings it across the diamond to Colbert, and the Mets go quickly in the top of the fifth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. So we've come halfway at the end of 4 1/2. The New York Mets 2, the San Diego Padres 2.
Now is the time to have your heating equipment checked by the experts at Shepherd Oil Company. They are in business to serve you. As exclusive holders of EFM franchise, Shepherd Oil is in position to offer you the latest, the most efficient heating units available in the world today. EFM, Electric Furnace Man's reputation, has been earned by delivering a quality product for over 41 years of manufacturing. Highly skilled craftsmen plus modern equipment equals precision products at low cost, and Shepherd Oil wants to acquaint you with this quality product. You'd really be surprised at how little they cost and how many dollars this equipment can save you on your fuel cost. Don't delay. Be ready for Old Man Winter with a new heating unit from Shepherd Oil Company. Call 762-7812 for a free estimate. Remember, at Shepherd Oil Company, their motto is service first. New York Mets baseball on WIZR, brought to you by the Shepherd Oil Company. Dial 762-7812. That's Shepherd Oil Company, 762-7812.
San Diego in to bat against Gary Gentry, last of the fifth inning. Dave Campbell will be leading off. His last time up, he lashed a double to left center, driving home Cleon Gaston with a run that tied the game 2-2. Dave Campbell. Last year, he was San Diego's second baseman. Ed Spezio and Gary Gentry played third base. The pitch is down the middle. Call strike one. Bob Barton will be up next, and then the pitcher, the bottom third of the order. Swing and a miss at a curveball, strike 2. Gary Gentry's third start. He pitched the second game of the year against the Pirates and pitched very well. Strike 3 called. He picked the outside corner for Gary Gentry, strikeout number 5. His two previous starts, Gary struck out 4 Pirates and 4 Cubs. Gentry lost 2-0 to the Pirates and pitched 5 innings of an 8-2 win over Chicago. He did not figure in the decision. 1 out, and the base is clear. The batter is Bob Barton. He was called out his first time up. He takes it over his head, ball 1. Barton, a right-hand hitter. Mets play him straight away in the infield, straight away in the outfield. Low and outside. Gentry dropping behind. 2 balls and no strikes. Now the windup by Gary. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled back to the screen. It's 2-1. Gentry is throwing hard. Since the double by Dave Campbell that drove in the tying run in the second, Gentry has retired 9 in a row. Jim Fregosi, even with the bag, fairly close to the line at third. Now the pitch. And he holds on the swing. It's just outside, 3-1. Tommie Agee just a couple of steps to right center against the right-handed batting Bob Barton. Barton, formerly with the Giants. Pitching 3-1. Too high, ball 4. Third walk by Gary Gentry. Grote walks slowly toward the mound. Fred Norman will be coming on to hit. He skied to center in the second inning. Norman is 0 for 1. In his first start against the Dodgers, a game he lost 1-0 on a home run by Lefebvre, Fred Norman had 1 hit and 3 times up.
He's a good hitting pitcher, and right here you'll know whether Don Zimmer is a conservative manager or not. He could have him bunt, or he could have him hit away.
Fregosi in close in case of a bunt. He turns, bunts. Good bunt, picked up by Fregosi. Throws to second, he's out. Good reacting by Jim Fregosi. Looked like a good bunt when it first went off with the bat, but it was bunted a little bit too hard. And Fregosi reacting quickly through to Bud Harrelson, erasing the lead runner, Bob Barton.
Number 30.
2 men away, it brings up the leadoff batter, Daryl Thomas. 1 for 9 in this series. He walked in the first, was caught stealing, and in the third was struck out. New York, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. San Diego, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Mets trying to sweep the 3-game set. The game is tied 2-2. Now Gary Gentry makes the 1-second stop. And a ground ball hit on the right side of the diamond. Martinez hurries to it. And he throws to Beauchamp. The side is out. Ted Martinez to Jim Beauchamp. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. At the end of 5 innings, the New York Mets 2, the San Diego Padres 2.
Everything you need to know in paint and color is DeVoe. Rainbow colors, sure to please, are from DeVoe and Celanese. Got you covered out or in, got you covered big or thin. Paint a house or paint a wall, touch it up or cover all. Everything you need to know in paint and color is DeVoe. Rainbow colors, sure to please, are from DeVoe and Celanese.
In days of old, knights were bold. Bold because they wore heavy armor and carried huge shields. Knights had to protect themselves from on-the-job hazards like evil villains and fire-breathing dragons. Maybe you don't rescue fair maidens for a living, but if your job demands safety gear and protective clothing, wear it. Don't get burned. For more information, contact the nearest office of the U.S. Department of Labor.
Here at San Diego, we go to the 6th inning with the game tied 2-2. Following the game, the Mets are motoring to Los Angeles, and they open the Dodgers series tomorrow night. Ralph, how did you feel as a player when you were moving into a city where you were tackling a red-hot team? Of course, the Mets haven't exactly been cold themselves.
Well, I think that if you're going well yourself, you feel you can do anything.
So here we are, all set for the 6th inning in San Diego Stadium, and all set to detail the action for you, Mr. Ralph Kiner.
Thank you, Bob Murphy, and once again, hi, everyone. And we're watching the Padres under the new manager, Don Zimmer, who replaced Preston Gomez as manager of the San Diego Ball Club. Tie ball game 2-2. The Mets 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. The Padres 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. And Ted Martinez will lead off for the Mets. Ted playing at second base is 0 for 2. Preston Gomez managed only 11 ball games this year and then was fired by general manager Buzzy Bavasi. First pitch to Martinez, swung on a miss, and strike one. That's not the earliest a manager has ever been fired. I recall back in 1954 while playing for the Cubs that Phil Cavarretta was fired as the manager of the Cubs in spring training. One strike pitch and a swing and a miss at a screwball at strike 2.
I remember, Ralph, that Eddie Sawyer quit after opening day.
He was the first, I guess that's the earliest any manager ever quit in a season. He wasn't fired, he actually retired. I guess he figured the season was getting too long. One ball game, and he retired as manager of the Philadelphia Phillies.
I think he just enjoyed spring training.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch high and away, and the count at 1-2 against Ted Martinez. And the pitch back, hit hard, right at the third baseman, Dave Campbell. He goes to his knee as he comes up with the line drive just off the top of the dirt infield. So Martinez a hard out, 1 away. That'll bring up Tommie Agee. Twice has hit the first pitch. Flight out to center field, popped up to second base. Agee hitting .242 with 1 home run, 3 runs batted in. First pitch is low and inside. When Phil Cavarretta was fired as manager of the Cubs in 1954 in spring training, I do believe it might have been the first year anybody ever struck because the ball players were really down on him. They brought in Stan Hack, who was a completely different personality. Here's a swing and a miss at a screwball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tie ball game 2-2, 1 man out. We're in the top of the 6th inning. And Fred Norman back again. And the pitch hit the deep center. On and running is John Jeter. He's got a long way to go, and he can't get to it. It is off of the wall. He fields the ball off the wall on the fly, and Agee goes in with a stand-up double. That ball hit about 400 feet off the wall, which is 17 feet high here in San Diego Stadium, and Agee has a base hit. The Mets have the go-ahead run at second base with 1 away, and the batter coming up is Rusty Staub.
Number 4, Rusty Staub.
Mets get their 4th base hit off Fred Norman. Rusty Staub got their 1st base hit, and it was a home run. Rusty getting his first run batted in for the New York Mets, batting at .303. Staub, a left-hand batter, being played straight away. John Jeter in center field plays a very shallow center field. He was burned by Jerry Grote when he tripled in the 2nd. That ball hit by Agee he could not have caught as it was off the wall. I would have to guess about 10 feet up on the wall. Now Norman, a left-hander from the set position. And the pitch to Rusty Staub. It is hit by the pitcher, and a great play by the second baseman, Derrel Thomas, as he makes a diving stop, falls to the ground, throws from a prone position, and is so in time to get Rusty Staub. Thomas saving a base hit with a great play, and on the play, Agee goes to third. So now Cleon Jones coming up with 2 men out. Now on the message board out in right center field, the word fantastic, and that was quite a play. Cleon is 0 for 2 as he waits for the catcher Bob Barton to say something to the pitcher, Fred Norman. Now Cleon in the batter's box. Mets would have gone ahead if that ball had got through the infield, and Thomas making quite a play. Ball was not hit hard. It was a spinning ground ball. First pitch to Cleon. He takes a screwball low. It's ball 1. Cleon is 0 for 4 in this series, batting at .333 for the year. Sat out yesterday's ball game. And the next pitch, again a screwball, again low, 2-0. Cleon was hit by a pitch ball in the first game of this series and sat out yesterday's game. He was able to play, but Yogi Berra decided to give him a little rest and let him heal up. 2 balls, no strikes. And Norman into the windup. The next pitch to Jones is hit hard. This one is a base hit into center field, and the Mets take the lead as Agee scores from third. Cleon with the base hit, coming up with his 7th run batted in the year. That leads the club. And the Mets lead 3-2. That'll bring up Jim Fregosi. Jim walked his first time up and scored a run. He singled in the 4th, so he is 1 for 1 tonight.
Number 2.
Fregosi won yesterday's ball game with a 3-run home run. Fregosi leads the club in home runs with 2. The Mets have a total of 5 home runs for the year before this game, and with Rusty Staub picking up his first of the year, they have a total of 6 on the season. Fregosi hitting .267 with 2 home runs and 6 runs batted in. Then he takes low. It's ball 1. Action starting up in the bullpen for the San Diego Padres. Gary Ross, a right-hander, throwing in the bullpen for San Diego. Jones, a short lead at first base. 2 men out. We're in the top of the 6th. The Mets leading 3-2. And the next pitch, a screwball back low and inside. 2-0 the count. Montreal leading the Dodgers 1-0 after 2.5 innings. McAnally against Downing. Mets move in for a 3-game set with the Dodgers over the weekend. 2-0 the count. Throw to first base. Jones back easily from a short lead. It's going to be Matlack tomorrow night for the Mets against Bill Singer. We'll be on the air with that one at 10:55 New York time. 2-0 pitch. Fregosi takes at the knees. A called strike, 2-1. Saturday, Kuzman against Tommy John. We'll be on the air at 10 o'clock with that one, both on radio and television. Sunday also televised, a 5 o'clock starting time as Capra takes on Don Sutton. Throw to first base again. Cleon back with no trouble for a very short lead. Fregosi's had 3 hits and 8 times up in this series. He drilled one to center field for his base hit in the 4th. Next pitch is over the outside corner. Good pitch. 2-2 the count. Two and two. And Fred Norman over to first base again, and again Jones back. Norman has won 5 games in his major league career and lost 18. He has no record against the Mets. And the 2-2 pitch. Fregosi hits a ground ball down to third, and Campbell comes up with it, just barely gets it in the webbing of his glove, throws over to first base to retire the side. But in the inning, the Mets take the lead by scoring 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, a man left at first. And the score after 5.5. The Mets 3, the Padres 2. Now here's a word from...
Well, the bridge washed out, and I can't swim, and my baby's on the other side. Hi, this is Warner Mac, just sitting here and thinking that everything today is getting to be electronic. Why, shucks, I can't even play my guitar anymore unless I plug it in. And that sure is a big field, electronics. And you know, there are all kinds of jobs in it. You know a place where you can learn about it and it won't cost you a dime? Well, that's the United States Marine Corps. They have all kinds of programs to train young men just like you in many different fields of electronics. They have radar, navigation equipment, computers, and calculators. All kinds of things that need men to run them and fix them. And it's the same kind of equipment civilians use. So that when you leave the Marine Corps, you'll have a good job waiting. A highly skilled job with high pay. And you can't beat that. So ask a Marine, won't you?
To the bottom of the 6th inning, the Mets leading 3-2, and the Padres coming up. Enzo Hernandez will lead off for San Diego. He is 0 for 2 in the game. In the series, he's 0 for 7. On the mound for the Mets, Gary Gentry. He has given up 2 runs, allowed 2 hits. And the first pitch, over the outside corner, a called strike. It'll be Hernandez, John Jeter, and Nate Colbert for Gentry here in the 6th inning. One strike delivery hit to the shortstop, Bud Harrelson. Bud moves to his left side about 2 strides, picks up the ball, guns at the first base, 1 away, and we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
WIZR FM Johnstown.
Ralph Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from San Diego, California. The batter for the Padres is John Jeter, who has struck out twice, and he takes the strike for strike 1. Well, the Cincinnati Reds scored 2 runs in the top of the 9th to defeat Pittsburgh 5-4. Pittsburgh now with a record of 5 wins and 5 losses. Justy, the losing pitcher, Clay Carroll, the winning pitcher. Ground ball again to Harrelson. He moves in about 4 steps, fields the ball, guns at the first against a speedy runner. And Jeter is out. 2 men away, and that brings up Nate Colbert, who doubled and scored a run in the second. Nate is 1 for 2, and in the series, he's had 4 hits and 10 times up. Batting at .209 for the year with 3 home runs and 5 runs batted in. Philadelphia stopped San Francisco 7-6. Giants now with a record of 5-7. The Phillies have a record of 6-4, and they'll be playing the San Diego Padres in a series here over the weekend. First pitch to Colbert. Outside, it's ball 1. One-0 pitch to Colbert, hit out to center field. High in the air, Agee moving in, has plenty of time to get under it. And he puts it away, and the side is retired in order. And the score at the end is 6. The New York Mets 3, the San Diego Padres 2.
You know, a deal on a new car is only as good as the men who back it up. But when you buy a car from the Dodge boys, they think about you. They think you ought to get more than just a handshake and a pat on the back. They think you ought to have a man at the dealership you can call about your car. And they think you ought to get good, prompt service. You see, the Dodge boys have one simple practice. When you talk, they listen. They lock themselves into the sale to make sure you remain satisfied. That's not to say the Dodge boys are perfect, but when they're not, they want to be the first to know about it. The fact is, the Dodge boys are realists. They know that the best way to sell you another Dodge is to make sure you like the first one. It's a simple, straightforward philosophy, but it works. Think about it. Then go see the Dodge boys and their 72 Dodges.
For the best deal on a new Dodge or Subaru, see Howland Pearson Dodge City, Main Street, Johnstown.
We're going to the top of the 7th inning. The Mets leading the Padres 3-2, and for the Mets it'll be Jim Beauchamp, Jerry Grote, and Gary Gentry as they bat for the 7th time. Montreal scored 2 runs in the top of the 4th. They lead the Dodgers by a score of 3-0 after 3.5 innings. Al Downing has been blasted already for 8 base hits. Former 20-game winner for the Dodgers last year. Dodgers working on a hot streak of 8 wins in their last 9 decisions. The Montreal Expos have lost 3 straight. Ernie McAnally pitching for the Expos tonight. First pitch to Beauchamp is swung on a miss. Strike 1 as Fred Norman gets a swinging strike. Mets have had 3 runs on 5 hits. Picking up 2 runs in the second and the go-ahead run in the 6th. Pitch back is a screwball swung on a miss. Strike 2. The action in the National League abbreviated. And at 2 strikes. Pitch is outside, missing by about 6 inches. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Beauchamp making his first start for the Mets. Batting at .333 now. Next delivery is popped up on the first base side. Nate Colbert coming down the line and in fair territory making the play for the out. That'll bring up Jerry Grote. Jerry tripled in the 2nd inning. Drove in Jim Fregosi from first base. Long drive over the center fielder's head and straightaway center field. Jerry 1 for 2. His triple was his first hit in this series, and Jerry now with an average of 192 for the year. Jerry had a rather interesting afternoon. He flew over to Catalina Island, about 25 miles away from San Diego, with his wife, Sharon. There's a drive to deep left. It could be gone. It is gone. Goodbye. Jerry Grote with his 2nd extra base hit, his first home run, and the Mets lead 4-2. Jerry coming in to cross home plate, and his first home run of the year. His third run batted in. And the Mets leading by a score of 4-2. That'll bring up Gary Gentry. Gentry is 0 for 2 in this game. And Fred Norman, who has given up 2 home runs, a triple and a double, included in the Mets' 6 base hits, gets a strike. Pitch back is swung on and foul tipped, and it's strike 2. Two-strike count against Gary Gentry. And the pitch back is fouled back against the screen. Last year, Jerry Grote hit 2 home runs. The year before, he hit 2. And in 1969, he had a total of 6 for his highest in a single season in the major leagues. Again, the 2-strike pitch, and Gentry swings and misses. Fred Norman gets a strikeout, his 4th in the ball game. That brings up Bud Harrelson.
Number 3, Bud Harrelson.
Bud is 0 for 3, batting at .228 for the year. And the first pitch to Harrelson, curveball over at the knees, just over the inside corner, and it's strike 1. Norman back, and a screwball breaking the other way. Swung on and missed at strike 2. Mets working on a 5-game winning streak and trying to sweep the series here in San Diego. 2-strike delivery. It is swung on and fouled off, and again Norman with a screwball. Harrelson fooled by the pitch, but staying alive with a foul ball. Norman, a left-hand pitcher with a record of 5-18 in the major leagues, and he bounces the next pitch up, a screwball. It's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Mets leading 4-2 with 2 men out. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Next pitch is taken high, 2-2. Eddie Ost, the coach at third base. Sheriff Robinson, the coach at first. Norman, a long look at the signs, now goes into the windup, and the pitch to Harrelson outside, ball 3. So Harrelson now working the count full after being down with a 2-strike count. On deck batter is Ted Martinez. Bud has had 1 hit and 9 times up in this series. A 3-2 pitch. Line to left field. It'll be a base hit. Going over to try and cut it off is Gaston, but he can't get to it. It goes up against the wall in the left field corner. And Harrelson goes in with a stand-up double. So the Mets continuing their extra base hit barrage. They have a runner at second base. And the batter coming up is Ted Martinez. That is Harrelson's first hit, batting from the right-hand side in 9 at-bats. Once again, Gary Ross throwing in the bullpen for the San Diego Padres. Mets have had 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and 1 triple in their 7 base hits in this ball game off Fred Norman. First pitch to Martinez, swung on and missed, strike 1. Ted making his first starting appearance for the Mets is 0 for 3. He lined to third his last time up. And Norman checking Harrelson at second. He has a fair-sized lead, and the pitch back to Martinez, grounded foul off on the first base side. Strike 2. Manager Yogi Berra making a lineup change here with the left-hand pitcher for the first time this year going against the Mets, putting right-hand hitting Ted Martinez in at second base for Ken Boswell, a left-hand batter, and Jim Beauchamp, also a right-hand batter, in at first base for Ed Kranepool, a left-hand batter. neither of the two that have been put in the ball game have had a base hit. Here's a pitch high, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 4-2, the New York Mets. 2 men away. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Now at 1-2, Norman back to Martinez. The pitch is hit out to the shortstop, Enzo Hernandez, and is sort of first base in the dirt, and once again, Colbert does a backhand pickup to save an error. That retires a side. Good play by the first baseman on a difficult pickup. But in the inning, the Mets get a run on the home run by Jerry Grote. They had 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left. And the score at the end of 6 1/2 innings, the Mets 4, San Diego Padres 2.
Plant something today and watch it grow. Put a little something into United States savings bonds and watch that bonus interest add up. It's easy when you join the payroll savings plan where you work. A little is set aside out of each paycheck before you even see it. And one day, in the not too distant future, there it is, a nice nest egg, ready to hatch. Whether it's a great vacation you've been saving for, a new home, education, you name it, savings bonds can make it happen. Take stock in America. Buy U.S. savings bonds.
We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Padres coming up with the Mets leading by a score of 4-2. And the Mets getting some action going in their bullpen as Danny Casella warms up. There's a ground ball off the first pitch to Cleon Jones, the shortstop. Harrelson moves to his left side, fields it, throws to first base. 1 away.
Number 26.
That'll bring up Ollie Brown, who has grounded out to Harrelson the 2 times he's been up. Brown hitting at 154 with 4 hits and 26 times up. Brown, a right-hand batter with good power, and the first pitch by the pitcher, Gary Gentry, is swung on and fouled back out of play, strike 1. Ollie Brown appeared as a pinch hitter against the Mets prior to his start here in this ball game, and double high off the wall in left field. 1 strike delivery. It is high. Changeup missing. 1-1. Ernie McAnally has been taken out of the game while pitching for Montreal against the Dodgers with a 4-0 lead because of a pulled groin muscle. So there's been a pitching change in that Montreal ball game as Denny LeMaster comes in the ball game. That score of that ball game 3-0 with McAnally going out. You can't get credit for the win if Montreal stays in front and wins. Next pitch, a ball. It's 2-1. There's a swing and a miss. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the next pitch popped up on the first base side in foul territory. Grote coming over. He's going to try it. Makes the catch. 2 men away. That'll bring up Dave Campbell. Dave, the last man to have a base hit against Gary Gentry. That was back in the 2nd inning.
Now hitting for the Padres, number 10.
Campbell 1 for 2 in the ball game. Batting at 194 for the year. He was dropped from the leadoff position to the 7th batting position in the batting order by new manager Don Zimmer. Don really shook up the lineup when he took over the ball club. Ground ball foul, strike 1. One strike count. We've got a beautiful night here in San Diego after 3 gorgeous days. And in 1 strike, Gentry to Campbell, and he misses down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's got some extra hitting practice the first 2 days of this series as they came out and worked out during the day. Something they needed badly. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball over the outside corner. A called strike, 1-2. Gentry has struck out 5 batters, his high for the year. He's walked 3. Next pitch is a base hit right by Jim Fregosi in the left field. Jim going to his glove side, just couldn't get to it as it was hit that hard. And Campbell now with his second base hit. That's the third for the Padres, and it puts a tying run at the plate. And the batter coming up, Bob Barton.
Number 1, Bob Barton.
2 men away, bottom of the 7th inning. Barton has struck out. He also has walked, and he's batting at 172. He has no home runs. He has driven in 3. Barton in the batter's box now steps out. Time is called by umpire Dave Davidson, the home plate umpire. Ed Sudol, the umpire at first base, and John Kibler, the umpire at second. Nick Colosi, the umpire at third. Here's the first pitch to Barton. It's in for a call strike at the knees, strike 1. And Gentry working from the set position. And the pitch. High and inside. Barton backs away. It's 1-1. Jim Beauchamp, the first baseman for the Mets, not holding the runner at first base, playing about 5 steps behind Dave Campbell. And Gentry again back, and the pitch is lined to center field, a base hit. And the Padres get something going. Moving down to second is Campbell, and the tying run is now at first base. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Fred Norman. Leroy Lee.
Pinch hitting for Norman, ladies and gentlemen. Number 24, Leroy Lee.
Lee was a starting ball player in the first 2 games of this series. He was 0 for 2 in both games that he started. So he's 0 for 4 in the series. He had hit in 3 consecutive ball games before the series started. Lee hitting at .269 with no home runs and 1 run batted in. Lee, a left-hand batter, pinch hitting for Fred Norman. And now Tug McGraw starts to throw in the bullpen for the Mets along with Danny Frisella. And Gentry with 2 men away with his first pitch to Lee. Misses high, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Lee steps out of the batter's box, walks over toward the on-deck circle.
Worked 7 innings, allowed 7 hits, 4 runs.
Gentry has won 34 ball games in his major league career. He has lost 33, and we're going to have a pinch runner for Bob Barton, who represents the tying run at first base. It's Don Mason coming in, the run for Barton. Manager Don Zimmer going for some extra speed, hoping that he can get that time run in. Now the pitch at a line drive base hit to right field. Charging is Rusty Staub. He has a play at the plate. And the runner is held up at third as Staub makes a perfect throw home. Rusty Staub charging that ball, fielding the line shot, and getting the ball in perfectly to home plate. And the runner at third base, Dave Campbell, held up. And wisely so, by Bob Skinner, the third base coach. He had no chance to score. So 3 hits in a row, and the bases loaded. The tying run at second base, the go-ahead run at first, and the batter coming up, the second baseman, Derrel Thomas. Thomas has walked, he has struck out, and he has grounded out. Thomas, a switch hitter, batting left-handed against Gary Gentry, batting at .257. And Gentry now with some work to do. He leans in, takes a sign from Grote, and time call now as Thomas steps out of the batter's box. Mets leading 4-2, but the Padres with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch, and Thomas takes a strike. Gentry getting a strike call off a fastball over the outside part of the plate, about letter high. Thomas has driven in 3 runs this year. He's had 9 base hits. Chokes up in that bat. And Gentry back again. And the pitch, a changeup. It misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Padres did not have a base hit for 4 consecutive innings, but now busting loose with 2 men out and coming up with 3 in a row. Gentry checks at third, goes into the short windup, and the 1-1 delivery. Swung on and missed, and Thomas going for a high inside fastball, fails to make contact. That puts Gentry ahead with a 1-2 count. McGraw continuing to throw in the bullpen for the Mets along with Danny Frisella. Sign goes out. Gentry nods yes. And Thomas asks for time and gets it from home plate umpire Dave Davidson, and he steps out of the batter's box. Thomas back in, time in, and Gentry set to go. Here's the windup and pitch. It is high, fastball missing above the letters, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Don Zimmer, the manager of the San Diego Padres, hoping to get started on a winning ball game, replacing Preston Gomez. Again, time is called as Thomas steps out of the batter's box. Gentry was in the windup, so he has to stop and get set up again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 2 men out. Mets leading by 2. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and Thomas is struck out. A big strikeout for Gary Gentry. It retires aside. No runs, 3 hits. No errors, and 3 men left on in the score at the end of 7. The Mets 4, the San Diego Padres 2.
Put some extra taste in your lunches with lunch meats from Walt's Walk-In at 112 East State Street in Johnstown. Walt's lunch meats aren't pre-cut. They're sliced while you wait. This means extra flavor. Compare Walt's prices with those in chain stores. You'll find that his prices are 5 to 20 cents per pound less. Waltz also carries only the best brands, such as Boar's Head, Hansel and Gretel, First Prize, and Martinic. Walt also has a complete line of beverages, baked goods, and groceries. Open 9 a.m. to 11 every day of the year. You stop soon at Walt's Walk-In at 112 East State Street, Johnstown.
I'm O.C. Smith. For 25 years, the United States Department of Agriculture has made some food and cash available to schools for lunch programs. But today, only half the children of America are actually getting a school lunch. Make sure that your child eats a good lunch every school day. For more information, write School Lunch, Washington, D.C., 20250.
This public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture in cooperation with this radio station.
Well, we have a new battery in the ball game, and while Gary Ross warms up to his new catcher, Fred Kendall, I'd like to remind you that the Mets return home to open up their next homestand, the longest of the year, against the San Diego Padres on May the 5th. That's a night game on Friday night, the first night game of the season. Then a day game on Saturday with the Padres, and a day game on Sunday. A day off on the 8th, and then the Dodgers come in for their first appearance of the season, playing Tuesday night, the 9th of May, Wednesday night, the 10th of May, and Thursday night, the 11th of May. Then the Giants make their first appearance, playing over the weekend. The night game on Friday night, a day game on Saturday, and a single day game on Sunday. Montreal closes out the homestand with a night game on Monday, April 15th, a night game on the 16th, that's Tuesday night, and Wednesday night, the 17th, with the final game of that homestand, a day game on May 18th. So a big homestand coming your way, and it should be quite an exciting thing as May gets off to a big start with the longest homestand of the season. Right here, it's Tommie Agee in the batter's box, and here for the play-by-play, Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Ralph. Kind of a new battery in the ball game. Gary Ross is the pitcher. Fred Kendall is the catcher, and the first pitch is low for a ball. Gary Ross making his 4th appearance of the season for the San Diego Padres. He worked 2/3 of an inning last night against the New York Mets. Allowed no runs, no hits. He has no won or loss record. His lifetime record against the Mets, no wins and 2 losses. The pitch is in for a called strike, and it's 1-1 now. Ross will bat number 9 in the Padre batting order, and Fred Kendall, the catcher, will bat number 8. Tommie Agee has had a double and 3 times up, and here is a 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 1-2. The Mets are batting here in the top half of the 8th inning, leading the San Diego Padres by a score of 4-2. The Mets have had 7 hits. The Padres have had 5. Ross is a right-hander. He has the sign now into the motion. 1-2 delivery, and it's in there for a called strike 3. Zipped him with the fastball. The first strikeout for Gary Ross.
Number 4.
So there's one away, and Rusty Staub is coming up. He had his first home run and his first Met run batted in the 2nd inning. In the 4th, he flied to center, and in the 6th, he grounded out. 2nd to 1st. 1 for 3 here tonight. Left-hand batter facing the right-hander, Gary Ross. 1 man out, nobody on base. That pitch is in for a called strike. When Yogi Berra decided to platoon tonight at 1st and 2nd base with Beauchamp and Martinez in there, he left Rusty Staub hitting cleanup. Did not drop him down at all. Left him in the number 4 slot. Here is the pitch, low for a ball. It's 1-1. Danny Frisella is still throwing down in the bullpen of the New York Mets. Now here's a 1-1 delivery. High and away. 2 balls and a strike to Rusty Staub. He turns, walks away from the batter's box for a moment. Final game of a 3-game series between the Mets and the Padres here in San Diego. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Swung on, hit on the ground, through the hole into right field for a base hit. Picked up by Ollie Brown in right. He plays it back. Rusty Staub with his 2nd hit. On at first with 1 away, and Cleon Jones is the batter. Cleon single in the 6th inning to drive in Tommie Agee with what was at the time the go-ahead run. Jones is 1 for 3 here tonight. Cleon Jones is batting .357 for the season. Montreal Expos are batting in the top of the 5th inning, and they are leading the Dodgers by a score of 3-0. Denver LeMaster working in relief of Ernie McAnally. Al Downing's the pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Montreal did not score in the top of the 5th inning, so going to the bottom of the 5th, it's still Montreal 3 and the Dodgers nothing. 1-0 to Cleon Jones. First baseman Nate Colbert holding against the runner, Rusty Staub, who takes his lead at first. Right-hander Gary Ross sets and deals a pitch high, so it is 2-0 now to Cleon, with Jim Fregosi moving up on deck. At the conclusion of this ball game, the New York Mets will go by bus to Los Angeles, directly to their hotel in the downtown area of Los Angeles. In other years, they have flown up and down the coast. This will be a 2-0 pitch, swung on and fouled off. But the reasoning was that by the time that they left this ballpark, went back downtown to the downtown location of the San Diego airport, then flew to Burbank, bus from Burbank to the downtown hotel, they could probably be at the hotel simply going from the ballpark directly north to Los Angeles by bus. 2-1 the count to Cleon Jones. Rusty Staub leading at first base. The Mets are out front in this game by a score of 4-2. His pitch is low, it's in the dirt. So Gary Ross has gone behind. 3 balls and a strike now to Cleon Jones. Further action down in the bullpen for the San Diego Padres. Ed Acosta, who came from Pittsburgh along with Jeter last year in the deal that sent Bob Miller from San Diego to the Pirates. Runner goes, the pitch is low, it's a walk, no throw. As Staub pulls up safely at second. They had him running on the pitch. And coming up now with runners at first and second, Jim Fregosi, as the catcher Fred Kendall calls time, goes to the mound, and here comes the pitching coach of the San Diego Padres, long, lean, lanky Roger Craig. Roger Craig and Don Zimmer were teammates on the 1962 original New York Mets. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
WIZR FM Johnstown.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Cantor and Bob Murphy at San Diego Stadium in San Diego, California. Craig has gone back to the dugout.
4, 4, 5, 9.
Fregosi is in there waiting now with runners at first and second and 1 man out. Here's a swing and a ground ball to short. Hernandez has it over to Daryl Thomas for 1 to throw to Colbert, a double play. It goes 6-4-3, and the New York Mets are retired here in the top half of the 8th inning as Jim Fregosi hit a ground ball to short that was turned into a twin killing. No runs, a hit, a walk, no errors, and one left in the middle of the 8th inning. The score is the New York Mets 4 and the San Diego Padres 2. For your convenience, the Mets now have a total of 361 locations in the greater New York area where tickets may be purchased in advance for any game at Shea Stadium during the 1972 season. Among the locations are the advanced ticket window at Shea Stadium. There's a ticket office at the Grand Central Terminal, and there's one at Macy's in Huntington, Long Island. Additionally, there are 170 branches of the Chase Manhattan Bank and 164 offices of Manufacturers Hanover Trust Company to serve you, all located in the 5 boroughs and Nassau and Westchester counties. Furthermore, reservations may be made at all Howard Clothes stores in the metropolitan area, as well as their store in Albany. All outlets will be maintained during store and banking hours. The Grand Central location at the foot of the Vanderbilt Avenue ramp on 42nd Street is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays, 8:30 to 4 on Saturdays. Shea Stadium's advanced ticket window is open 7 days a week, 8 to 6 weekdays, 9 to 5 on Saturdays and Sundays. Ticket prices are the same as last year. Box seats are $4 and $3.50. Reserve seats are $3, $2.75, and $2.50. The New York Mets have inserted Ed Craneville in the lineup at first base now in place of Jim Beauchamp. The San Diego Padres come up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Enzo Hernandez, the shortstop, faces right-hander Gary Gentry. Into the motion. Here's the pitch in there for a called strike. Hernandez has grounded out, lined out, and grounded out tonight, batting number 2 in the batting order. Curveball. It's a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Hernandez, followed in the order by John Jeter. The Mets 4 runs, 8 hits, and the Padres 2 runs, 5 hits. Gary Gentry again winds and fires, and the pitch is swung on, fouled up to the right side, out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hernandez. Again, Tug McGraw gets up to throw in the Met bullpen. Tug McGraw, the left-hander, who makes his permanent home in the greater San Diego area. Gentry reads the sign of catcher Jerry Grote, and here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a little low for a ball, so now it's evened up as 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 delivery. Swung on, and it is lofted out into right center field, and it's going to be an in-betweener. Cut off down there on 1 hop by Agee. On the way to second is Hernandez. He slides in with a double. So Enzo Hernandez has opened up the bottom of the 8th inning with a double to right center field. Here comes the Met manager, Yogi Berra. Hands thrust deeply into his hip pockets on the way to the mound. And he's got Tug McGraw down there in the bullpen. You'll recall that Gentry got belted pretty well in the bottom of the 7th for 3 consecutive base hits. Then tightened up and struck out Daryl Thomas to get out of a bases-loaded situation. But here, in the 8th inning, the Padres have opened up with a double. Yogi has arrived at the mound, hands on hips. Gentry is moving around out there on the mound, staring around here and there. Sign goes down to the bullpen. That's all for Gentry. It'll be Tug McGraw coming in here now in relief. And Gentry turns and starts for the Met dugout. Tug McGraw walking in from the bullpen located down in the right field corner. McGraw will be making his 4th appearance of this season. He has no won-or-loss record. He has 1 save for Seaver. Against the Pittsburgh Pirates on opening day, he pitched for 3 innings, allowed no runs, no hits. Last time out against the Chicago Cubs, he went for 5 innings, gave up 1 run on 3 hits. Tug McGraw coming in to do the pitching and to check us out on scores of other games. Here's Ralph Kiner.
Well, it's very abbreviated in the Major Leagues, but in the National League. The action taking place there. Cincinnati defeated Pittsburgh by a score of 5-4. It was Cincinnati's 4th win against 6 losses. And Pittsburgh now with a record of 5-5. The winning pitcher in the ball game was Clay Carroll, who came in the game in the 8th inning. A losing pitcher, Dave Justy, who also came in the game in the 8th. Home runs by Stennett and Concepcion. At the end of 5, the Dodgers have scored in the bottom of the 5th, so Montreal leads the Dodgers by a score of 3-1. McAnally started for Montreal, had to go out of the ball game with a pulled groin. The master now pitching for the Expos. Al Downing still in for the Dodgers. Philadelphia defeated San Francisco in a slugfest in that ball game. Home runs by Money. He had Johnson, Luzinski, and Kingman. Kingman now with 5 home runs for the season. Luzinski with 4. The winning pitcher was Twitchell in relief of Dick Selma. The losing pitcher was Bryan in relief of starting pitcher John Cumberland. That's the schedule right there. You know, Lindsay, when Roger Craig was out at the mound, it reminded me of a story that took place when he lost 18 games in a row for the Mets. And in about the 17th game, he was pleading for just 1 run as he was pitching a shutout. And every inning, he said, just get me 1 run. And finally, when they got to the 9th inning with no runs, he said, well, just get me a half a run.
They didn't often get Roger much of anything in those years. Doug McGraw, working in relief of Gary Gentry, has completed his warm-up pitches. They have Ray Sadecki up and throwing down the bullpen now. With a runner at second and nobody out, John Jeter is coming up now. The Mets are leading by a score of 4-2, so it's tying run at the plate for the San Diego Padres here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Doug McGraw, left-hander, works the screwball effectively against right-hand batters. Sets up now, checks the runner at second base. McGraw delivers the pitch, and it's swung on. Hammered on the ground to third. Charged by Fregosi. Up and throwing in time. And now, Cranepool, in a collision with runner Jeter, hangs on to the ball as Hernandez moves over to third on the infield out. On the throw to Cranepool. Contact there as Jeter went down, but Cranepool held on to the ball at first base. Hernandez simply waited until Fregosi made his throw and then made the dash for third base. Now, with 1 man out on the runner at third, Nate Colbert's coming up. Double, grounded out, flied out. Big power hitter. Right-hand batter. With a 2-run lead, the Mets keep the infield back, willing to concede a run for an infield out here. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tug McGraw with a pitch low to Stucci. Waiting on deck is Cito Gaston. 1-0 to Nate Colbert at the plate. McGraw working straight away. Looks into Gruder to get his sign. Enzo Hernandez leads down the line from third. Bob Skinner, the coach, on the lines at third there, and here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled up to the right side, into the seats and out of play. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Jim McAndrew is up and throwing in the bullpen now, along with Ray Sadecki. McAndrew and Sadecki warming for the Mets. Doug McGraw had walked off the mound to the infield grass and is rubbing up the new ball put into play here. Hernandez takes his lead. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And it's high for a ball. 2 balls and a strike to Nate Colbert. They play Colbert to pull the ball. Agee shaded around toward left field. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Let up, and it's a little high, so it's 3 balls and a strike. McGraw trying to work carefully to the power hitter here, but also he does not want to put the tying run on base. The count has gone 3-1. McGraw now takes a look at the runner into the motion. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, hit deep to left field, and Cleon Jones is coming up. He makes the catch. Tagged is Hernandez. Down the line, he scores. Sacrifice fly on a run batted in. It is the Mets 4 and the Padres 3. Line drive off the bat of Colbert. Cleon Jones made the catch. It was easy for Hernandez to tag and score after the catch. So now there's nobody on base. 2 men out, and Cito Gaston is up. That run statistically is charged to Gary Gentry. So the books are closed on Gentry now. Works 7 innings, faced 1 man in the 8th. Pitch is in for a called strike. Gentry allowed 3 runs on 6 hits. He struck out 6, he walked 3. The Mets 4 and the Padres 3.
6 hits, 3 runs.
Swinging a foul ball off and out of play. The paid attendance here tonight, 4,459. 4,459 paid at San Diego Stadium tonight. Two-strike count to right-hand batter Clarence Gaston. Here's a swing and a drive to Fregosi, who gloves it in fair territory, right on the line for the putout. That retires the side. A shot down to Fregosi. Side is retired with a run on a hit, no errors and none left. At the end of 8 full innings of play, the score is The Mets 4 and the Padres 3.
Hi, this is Kathy Ogden, your extension home economist, with a message for consumers. Did you eat breakfast this morning? Well, congratulations if you did. Many people, especially teenagers, fail to eat breakfast. The informal lifestyle in America today may promote casual, haphazard eating habits. Also, schedules for family members are frequently different, and without planning, it's easy to see how breakfast preparation can become difficult. If your evening meal includes bread or rice pudding or a custard, make an extra supply for a nourishing, speedy breakfast the next morning. Combine this with a glass of orange juice and you can make a nutritionally balanced breakfast. Teenagers may be intrigued by a sandwich breakfast, and a good supply of fixing may be on hand, like peanut butter, sliced cheese, or ham. Whatever you prefer to serve for breakfast or your family members find most acceptable, it's important to form the habit of eating breakfast each day.
Through 8 innings of play here in San Diego, California, the Mets 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Padres 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Ed Kranepool up for the Mets now. His first time up tonight. Left-hand batter facing right-hand pitcher Gary Ross. Here's a swing and a fly ball into right center field. Ollie Brown coming over, but center fielder Jeter gets there and cuts it off for the putout. Jeter took the line drive off the bat of Kranepool, and there's one away. That'll bring up Jerry Grote. Grote has had a triple and a home run here tonight. He's 2 for 3. He tripled to drive in a run in the second inning. He grounded out in the fifth and then hit his first home run of the year for the Mets in the seventh inning, up into the seats in left field. Tug McGraw has come out on deck. Gary Ross working in relief of starter Fred Norman here tonight. Norman is the pitcher of record. This pitch is a little low as Jerry Grote moved up in the box on the pitch. Mets keep their bullpen working. Left-hander Sadecki, right-hander McAndrew. 1-0 delivery, and it swung on, fouled off to the right side, up into the seats and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Grote back in and waiting now as Gary Ross delivers. Swung on and foul back off the screen and out of play, and the count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll be on the air from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles tomorrow night at 10:55 p.m. New York time. Bringing you radio coverage of the Mets and the Dodgers. Here's a 1-2 delivery, and it's inside for a ball. 2-2. Up at Dodger Stadium right now, Hoyt Wilhelm has relieved Al Downing on the mound for the Dodgers in the 6th inning. The Dodgers scored in the bottom of the 5th. Montreal still leads them 3-1. Here's a swing and a foul ball off and out of play. Count of 2-2 to Jerry Grote. Ross walking back to the mound now. 1 man out and nobody on base, with the Mets batting in the top of the 9th inning and leading by a score of 4-3. 2-2 delivery. Swung on, hit on the ground, and it's going through the middle for a base. It's the 3rd hit of the night for Jerry Grote. Picked up by John Jeter and played back. Grote turns and holds with a single to center. He's had a single, a triple, and a homer here tonight. Better fly to Catalina every day, Ralph. What it is they got over there, but whatever it is, you ought to bring a lot of it back.
We better get a 747 and all go over there.
It'll be Tug McGraw coming up. McGraw up for his first time. He's a right-hand batter.
Tug McGraw.
The Padres anticipate a sacrifice attempt here, and they pull third baseman Dave Campbell way in on the grass. They have Nate Colbert at first holding against the runner and ready to charge. Bud Harrelson follows Tug McGraw in the Met batting order. Mets would like to build one here. They have only a 1-run lead. Here's the pitch. McGraw around to bunt. Bunts it out in front of the plate. Kendall has it. He goes to first base in time. Taken there by Colbert. They had the second baseman charge instead of the first baseman there. Colbert stayed back, covered the bag, and second baseman Derrel Thomas charged on the pitch. Kendall fielded the ball, took a look, Then decided he had no shot at Grote and fired on the first. So it is a 2-3 sack, and it brings up Bud Harrelson.
Number 3, Bud Harrelson.
Harrelson doubled in the 7th inning, batting right-handed. Against right-hander Gary Ross, he turns around now to bat left-handed once again. He's 1 for 4 tonight. Harrelson's batting .250 for the season. Grote takes his lead at second base. Checks with coach Eddie Yost down there. As pitcher Gary Ross looks in to catcher Fred Kendall. Has the sign. And the pitch is outside for a ball. Mike Caldwell is up and throwing in the bullpen now, along with Ed Acosta for the San Diego Padres. Double barrel action down there as Gary Ross tries to get out of the inning here. 1-0 delivery, and it's in for a called strike. If you want to look ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, the San Diego Padres will be scheduled to send up Ollie Brown, Dave Campbell, and Fred Kendall. Ross has the sign, checks over his shoulder, deals 1-1, swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Ted Martinez is on deck for the Mets. Ross goes to the rosin bag before getting ready to work a 1-2 pitch to Bud Harrelson. Harrelson choking up on the bat. And the pitch swung on, and it's hit on the ground foul, back of third, out of play. Count continues at 1-2. The Padres will be at Shea Stadium in New York on Friday night, May 5th, for the first night game of the season at Shea. Starting up a long homestand. It'll see the Mets in there against the Padres and the Dodgers and Giants in Montreal. Jerry Grote again takes his lead at second base. The pitch to Harrelson, and it is low. Bounce off the shin guard of Kendall. Gets away on the wild pitch. Grote moves to third base. Count is 2-2 to Harrelson at the plate. So now it's a runner at third with 2 men out and a 2-2 count. Since the Padres are in the Western Division of the National League and the Mets in the East, they play each other 6 times here during the course of the season and 6 times in New York. Ross will work straight away now with Grote the runner at third. The 2-2 delivery swung on, and it's looped out into short right center field. But coming over is Jeter. He's there, and he makes the catch. And the side is out. So it's no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. In the middle of the 9th inning, the score is the Mets 4 and the Padres 3.
27 centuries before Christ, back when the Egyptians were building their first pyramids, a tree sprouted in the White Mountains of California. 50 centuries later, that tree, a bristlecone pine, is still alive. It's the world's oldest living thing, and there are other trees almost as ancient. Sequoia trees in California's High Sierra have been alive since before Alexander, since before Rome, since before Moses. Many botanists believe that the sequoias have the potential to outlive even the bristlecone pine. Think about it. Trees that have been on Earth for 30 centuries could live 30 more. If we don't burn them down. One careless second can wipe out centuries of life. So think before you strike. Because only you can prevent forest fires.
And now at San Diego Stadium, the Padres come up in the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing by a run, and they'll face left-hander Tug McGraw, working in relief of starter Gary Gentry, who went 7 innings and is the pitcher of record for the New York Mets. As McGraw takes his warm-up pitches up at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, Montreal has scored a run in the top of the 6th inning. It's the Expos 4 and the Dodgers 1, going to the bottom of the 6th. Phillies beat the Giants today by a score of 7-6, and the Cincinnati Reds beat the Pittsburgh Pirates by a score of 5-4. Ollie Brown is coming up to lead off now for the San Diego Padres. Grounded out to drive in a run in the 2nd inning, grounded out in the 4th, and fouled out in the 7th. Brown is hitting 148. Don Zimmer took over as manager tonight. He inserted Ollie Brown and Cito Gaston into the lineup. They had not been playing. Here's Tug McGraw with his first pitch in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Scroogey is in there for a called strike. Waiting on deck is Dave Campbell. Brown bats number 6 in the batting order. McGraw strike one, pitch to Brown. Swung on and missed. It's strike 2. Brown swings the bat loosely now as he waits. Has it cocked. Tug McGraw with a 2-strike delivery. And it is laced out into center field. Here comes Agee. Can't get to it. It's in there for a base hit. Agee picks it up, plays it back. It's a leadoff single for the Padres here in the bottom of the ninth. They have the tying run at first base with nobody out. Dave Campbell is coming up, and he's 2 for 3 here tonight. Campbell had a double to drive in a run in the second inning. He was called out on strikes in the 5th, and he singled to left in the 7th inning. Jerry Grote, it's call time. He's gone out to the mound. Tug McGraw picked up the Rosenbach, slammed it down. McGraw and Grote now in conversation. Fred Kendall has moved out there on deck. Cranepool at first holding against the runner. Fregosi at third in on the grass. Campbell around in bunting stance, pushes the ball to the first base side. Cranepool has it, goes to Martinez at first covering. The sacrifice goes 3-4, and the tying run is in scoring position at second base. Perfect sacrifice bunt by Dave Campbell, so now it'll be catcher Fred Kendall coming up with one man out to take a shot at getting the tying run in from second base. Jerry Morales has moved out on deck to follow Kendall. Morales has moved out on deck now to follow Kendall. Kendall coming up for his first time in this ball game. He has been at bat 11 times this year. He's had 3 hits for an average of 273. Kendall is a right-hand batter facing left-hand pitcher Tug McGraw. The Mets 4, the Padres 3. McGraw off the stretch now. Checks the runner at second base. Here's the pitch, and it's low for a ball. Start him off with a screwball. Fred Kendall came on as a catcher after Mason had run for Bob Barton in the 7th inning. The Mets have had 9 hits. The Padres have had 7 here tonight. Tug McGraw delivers. Swinging and a miss. It's 1-1. Ollie Brown strolls off the bag at second now. Kendall settles himself back into the batter's box. And McGraw offers 1-1. Swung on. It's foul back out of play. Into the seats. Count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Fred Kendall. No action in the Met bullpen. The bullpen crew, clad in jackets, intent on what's going on out there on the field just now. There is some action continuing down in the bullpen of the San Diego Padres. Kendall swings that bat around now as he waits for McGraw to work again. Ollie Brown, the tying run, takes the lead at second. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and it swung on and missed. Struck him out. 2 men are out. Morales now coming up to bat. Morales will bat for Gary Ross. First strikeout from McGraw.
For Ross, number 32, Jerry.
Morales is the right-hand batter. He's been up 14 times. He's had 3 hits. He has driven in 1 run this year, and he has an average of 214. McGraw looks into Grote to get the sign now. Ollie Brown takes his lead at second base. Off the stretch, Tug McGraw with the pitch to the right-hand batter. And it's low for a ball. Daryl Thomas is on deck now. McGraw sets. Checks over his shoulder. Here's the pitch. Breaks in there for a called strike. It's 1-1 to Jerry Morales. McGraw taking just a moment, standing behind the rubber. Now steps up. Toes the slab, looks in, gets a sign. This will be a 1-1 offering. And it's on the way. Swung on and missed. Chased the screwball, swung himself out from under the hard hat. Morales recovers that now. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tug McGraw goes back, fingers the rosin bag, flips it down. After having tagged up Ollie Brown now, strolls off that bag at second carefully, keeping an eye on third base coach Bob Skinner. 2 men are out. The Mets are leading by a score of 4-3. Tug McGraw looks into Jerry Grote. Gets the sign now, sets up, checks Ollie Brown. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a little high. He laid off, started to swing. Grote wants to play umpire. Dave Davidson to check with first base umpire Ed Sudol. Sudol says he didn't swing. So it's 2-2. Morales started to swing. Got his body around. Checked the bat there. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Tug McGraw takes that sign. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and held up at the last moment. He started to swing the bat, laid off, and it went low out of the strike zone, so it's 3-2. Again, he started the bat forward, checked it in time, and the count is run full at 3-2 to Morales. Derrel Thomas is on deck. Now the action has stopped down in the bullpen of the Padres as well, as all eyes are on what is happening in the center of this diamond. Martinez tries to run Ollie Brown back a little closer to the bag at second. This is a payoff pitch to Jerry Morales at the plate. McGraw's pitch, and it is swung on and missed. Struck him out to end the ball game. Tug McGraw on a 3-2 pitch struck out Morales as he gets out of the ball game with a save. Gentry gets the win. The New York Mets have won 6 games in a row. They have swept this 3-game series. They stay in first place in the Eastern Division of the National League as Gary Gentry gets the win. So we'll be back in a moment with a final summary and totals. Right now the final score of the game is the Mets 4 and the Padres 3.
But that's absolutely lovely, Rick. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Really?
Good old Harry. What a host. When Harry throws a party, nobody goes thirsty.
Here, let me freshen up that drink.
Good old Harry is such a great host. How come Bill and Jean had such a terrible fight?
I want to go home right now.
Why not? It's a great party.
I don't care.
Such a drink.
No, I want to go home right now. Now
How come Bob had a little trouble driving home? And how come everybody who felt so good last night feels so bad this morning? Maybe good old Harry is not such a great host after all. Maybe good old Harry is a pusher, a neighborhood pusher. Harry pushes alcohol. So if you serve alcohol, please, don't be a pusher. And if you're a guest, don't let good old Harry or anyone else push you into drinking more than you want.
A public service message from this station and the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism.
Here in San Diego, California, the New York Mets have defeated the Padres by a score of 4-3, and to tell you something of how they did it, here's Ralph Kiner.
All right, Lindsay, and for the Mets, it was the clutch hitting of Jerry Grote that actually put them in winning position. Jerry had a triple and drove in a run in the second inning. He had a home run in the seventh, which proved to be the winning run in the ball game. It was his first home run of the year, and Jerry also had a single. Good clutch pitching in 2 real tough situations by the Mets. First time was by Gary Gentry when Gary struck out Daryl Thomas on a 2-2 fastball with the bases loaded and 2 men out. And it was also a fine job by Tug McGraw in relief as Tug struck out Jerry Morales as a pinch hitter with the tying run on at second base. Gentry, the winning pitch in the ball game, now with a record of 1 win and 1 loss. McGraw got his second save, and the losing pitch in the ball game was Fred Norman. His record is at 0-2. We'll be back with more about the ball game in just 1 minute.
Watch it over there.
Sorry, sir.
Lights adjusted?
Yes, Mr. Kinson.
Okay, curtains all set. Mac, move the stairs a little to the left.
Yes, sir.
Virginia.
Yes, Mr. Kinson.
I'm going to need you to sing along in the bass part until John can make it back to rehearsal, okay?
Yes, sir. Oh, thank you.
Mr. Harvey, give me a level check on that mic, please.
Good ladies, evening, and gentlemen of the audio radiance. There, how's that?
Thank you. Now, let's see. Cameras all set?
Excuse me, but what are you doing?
This is to be the first annual television spectacular to promote May as National Radio Month.
Promoting it on television?
Of course. Confidentially. No one listens to radio anymore.
Just 187,335,216.
Make that 17.
17 at the latest count. A salute to the radio industry from the Southern Baptist Radio and Television Commission.
In the ball game, it was the debut for the new manager of the San Diego Padres, Don Zimmer, and Don coming close, but not quite being able to pull it off as the Mets win it by a score of 4-3. Mets swept the series, and they have now won 6 consecutive ball games, their longest winning streak going back to 1970. The paid attendance here tonight, 4,459, and also for the Mets, Rusty Staub got his first home run. It came in the second inning on the first pitch, and it came off Freddie Norman. Staub with 2 base hits and 4 times up, continuing his fine hitting. He had a home run and drove in a run. Cleon Jones also drove in a run, and of course Jerry Grote with a 3-for-4 night, driving in 2 runs and picking up the home run and driving in the winning run of the ball game. The line score of the ball game: the Mets 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 6 men left on. The Padres 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 6 men left on base.
Be with us tomorrow evening at 10:55 p.m. New York time when the Mets meet the Los Angeles Dodgers. This broadcast has been brought to you in cooperation with Hughes Sports Network. The final score again, the Mets 4 and the Padres 3.
Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York town.
New York Mets baseball on WIZR Radio is brought to you by Walt's Walk-In, the Shepherd Oil Company, Fields and Baxter Insurance, Sarris's Restaurant, your Agway Store, Florence Sitterly Realtor, and Howell and Pearson. This is the New York Mets Radio Network.